Hey guys, it's Tammy and I'm back with another video, and we are going to be making refrigerator pickles and jalapenos. I'm going to show you how to make a basic brine, and then we have all of our jars cleaned and ready to go, and our veggies that we'll chop up. These will go right into the refrigerator after they're done and cooled off. This is not a shelf-stable canning video. This is a pickling video. So come along and I'll show you how to do it. We're going to start off with a basic brine. Now, I've changed up my brine before, but this is just the easiest way, so you'll never forget it. It's 1 part vinegar to 1 part water. Super easy. Then it's going to be 1 part sugar and 1 part salt. So I'll show you how to do that. I have 2 cups of water. I'm on well, so I don't have chlorine in my water. I have been told that when you make this and you're not on well, just to use like filtered or bottled water. I don't know if you guys do that or not, but so 4 cups of water, which would mean 4 cups of vinegar. And I'm making a big batch because we're doing the cucumbers and the jalapeno, and I just have a lot. And then I'm gonna do a tablespoon of salt and a tablespoon of sugar. But I actually have, move some of the stuff out of the way, didn't use that. I have Wyoming local honey, bees right next door, harvesting. I don't do any of the work. I just lend out my land and they actually pay me in honey, which is kind of cool. But if you wanted you can half this recipe, obviously. Actually a little bit more. If you're not going to do as many jars as I am. All right, and then I'm just going to put that like on medium. Basically, you just want all that to dissolve. And then we'll go and we'll start chopping up the veggies. Sorry, but that's too good. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands and then I'll take you along and we'll start chopping veggies. Okay, let's start with our pickles that we're gonna be making. And I always season mine up with some dill weed. Obviously, if you have fresh, you can use fresh. I don't have any fresh. And then I always use a little bit of mustard and celery seed. These are like the 3 basic things I use. And then if you have some bay leaves, you can add bay leaves to it. I also have some cloves I'm gonna add, and peppercorn. Now, I'm making mine spicy, so I'm gonna use up these red peppers that I have that I just need to use them up. And I'm gonna use some garlic that I've already taken the skins off of, and that's gonna be my pickles. Now, I really just wanna leave all the pickles whole, but they're huge. And even in a huge jar, I wouldn't really be able to fit a lot. So I was thinking, instead of jars, maybe using some of these. But even that, I can only get like, I don't even know if I could get 4 in there. Yeah, that wouldn't even fit. I don't know, maybe I'll just make 1 like that. So I think I'm going to chop these up in different ways. I usually do some in spears and some in like the coin shape. But first I'm gonna get my jars with these ingredients. And you can do it either way. You can either put out, you know what, I'll do the cutting first. Sorry, I do that differently each time. So they always say to cut the ends off when you're pickling. And I just cut both ends off. You're supposed to do the side with the bloom. I don't know if that's probably the tip, the pointier side. Oh, they smell so good. I love cucumbers. I got these pickling cucumbers at like a produce stand in town. And they actually have like a truck where they go and they get them all local. Well, sorry, not local to Wyoming. Sometimes they go into like Colorado or Utah, just wherever they're in season. All right, so I have some of my spears here. That's probably enough at least for one jar, I would think. It's crazy that just 2 cucumbers that are fat like that can fill up a jar. And I think I can get a little more. These are long. I'm gonna grab this one. I think this one's a little shorter. All right, I think that's all that's gonna fit into this one. So literally, how easy is that? We are just going to, all right, season it up. This is a teaspoon, but I'm kind of just using like maybe a 1/4 teaspoon in that. You don't really need a ton of mustard seed. A little goes a long way, so maybe like a 1/4 of a teaspoon, if that. And then for the celery, oh my gosh, celery seed smells so good. I'm doing like 1/2. All right, and then I'm gonna slice up one of these fresh garlic bulbs. Put it in there. Just kind of shove it in there. I think it might be better to do it at the bottom. And then I was actually thinking about just, as soon as I cut this, it's gonna make the biggest mess because it's dried. I'm just gonna keep this whole and like kind of dump it in there. Oh, that's not working. All right, I'm gonna cut it like in 1/2. If you don't have these whole dried peppers, just use red pepper flakes if you want your spicy. And of course, spicy is always optional. And you know what? I was gonna say, I always keep a little napkin just to clean little local messes. So I'm gonna do one more jar of the spears, and then I wanna show you, I'm gonna do a jar of the, of course, last one. Careful that you don't drop these everywhere. Yeah, and typically, like, if you can't grow this stuff, a good place to check is like your local farmer's market, because a lot of times the farmer's market is going to be selling this stuff. And you know what? That is what I was gonna use. I have my big jar. Sorry guys, I had it over there. I was gonna use this big jar, and I'll just use this for all of these. That way I can get a ton in there. And I'm gonna layer in the seasoning, like I just said, because it might be easier. Oh, and I forgot a couple things here. So here's some peppercorns, which you don't really need if you're doing like red pepper flakes too. And I'm gonna put a couple of these in there. Bay leaves. All right. You get it, right? You get the gist of that. Season it however you want. We're literally just going to pour the brine over these, and in about 2 days, 24 to 48 hours, it's gonna make some yummy pickles. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see that. And I think what I'll do is I'm gonna bring you back here and show you the jalapenos, because you guys don't really need to see me chopping up cucumbers. Okay, so here is the jalapeno one. I have everything chopped. I'm doing carrots, white onion, red onion, and jalapeno. I put in a teaspoon of thyme and a teaspoon of my homegrown and dried oregano. And I put that in the jar. That's the only thing I'm gonna season it with. And a little pro tip, when you're cutting onions and jalapeno and it's really hot, I have a candle right here, and it'll kind of absorb all the fumes that come out of that and make you cry. So you will cry less if you have a candle going. All right, so we're just gonna put everything in my jar, and I found a bigger jar, and I think I'm just gonna go for it. Remember, use gloves or wash your hands because you don't wanna burn yourself with the jalapenos. I will wash my hands right after this. I even have I have a little smaller jar that I thought would be kind of cute for any leftovers. But actually, I think I'm wrong. I think I should just shove it all in one. All right. So that is our, look how pretty that looks. All right, that is our jalapeno. And now I'm gonna see if I could just kind of turn you around right here. You see my jars right there. This is how easy this recipe is, look. I'm gonna just, Brine's been on medium. Gonna whisk it up real quick, turn the heat off. That's how easy this is, look. We are just going to pour the brine over it. That's taking all my brine. This is gonna sit on my counter until it's completely cooled off, and then I'll put it in the fridge, and then in just a day or two, everything will be pickled and delicious. Oh, that is just perfect. Just gonna kind of top everything off now that I know I made enough. All right, that is my pickles, and my pickled jalapeno carrot mix. This is gonna be good in like everything that I cook. So, all right, guys. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.